Hey, everybody, we are live. It's Max with Crypto Talk now. Glad to be here with you all. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself real quick on the other side of things. And if anything, we're going to go ahead and start the comments. Welcome everybody here tonight. And hopefully, you guys can hear me loud and clear. So, with that said, let's get right into the comments. So, starting first of all, we have April Cornwell. Congratulations. As Larry would say, you won absolutely nothing. But you know what? She says, hey, hey, hey. That's good to see. And I'm just going to double check to see if you guys could hear me all right. Looks like we're good. Let's see what else. And she says, hope everyone's had an amazing day. I know I sure did. Hey, right on. That's good to hear. Michael Cornwell says, yo, like yo MTV raps, right? Michael Cornwell, the 99-cent super chat. Thank you for that, Michael. Appreciate it, man. Edward Vincent, yo, right on. La Grande Commission. Hello, hello. Yes, hello to you, sir. Appreciate you, man. And we got Edward Vincent saying hello. Back to you. All right, Edward Vincent, interplanetary crypto exchanges. Yes, I'll have to look a little bit more into that. Crypto Talk now. Hope everyone's doing well on this green day on behalf of Mr. Larry. Yes, that's always a good thing. Michael Corn, wake me up when the show starts in Green Day voice. Oh boy. Yes. Edward Vincent, wake me up when the bear run ends. Well, we'll take a look into that all here in a bit. I'm just going to welcome some people first. Let's see. Larry, a Crypto Talk now. I don't understand why we can't play music like they do on TikTok. Huh, good point. Haters, yeah. That's from Edward Vincent. Edward Vincent, Max and Larry, TikTok dance. Tim Shea says, hey, Tim Shea. Blue Whale Ricky is very tricky. He says, sup, haters. There's people that hate you. Tim Shea, smash that like. Yes, by all means, please do that. Selmo Flood, yes, Mr. Selmo. You know, I guess I'll bust out a rhyme, you know. Yo, it's Max with the ill funky flow, hanging out with Selmo and Larry, yo. So turn into a channel just like this where you can listen to about crypto talk when I do it like this. Stay tuned if you like what you see, and together I'll show you what I mean. Crypto talk now. Yeah, let's do this. Staying up all night is how we do it. Anyway. All right, so we're going to go to Selmo from Tim Shea. Brian Dowie, sup, guys? Yes, absolutely. Larry says we can hear you. Yes, thank you. Michael Corrin, bro, hope wells, my friend. Yes, I am doing pretty good. Tim Shea from Brian Dowie, give you the dab. Is the background a green screen or an actual room? I love it. That is an actual room, or is it? No. If you ever watch some of the recorded videos, I broadcast it from that particular background. And Tim Shea from Selmo Fudd. Too Much says, what's up, Max? Yes, right back at you, Too Much. Simon Ravencroft. Good evening, all. Yes, good evening to you, too. Too Much, Selmo. Back to Tim. All right, let's see. Tim Shea, Too Much. Michael, Brian, Blue Whale, all giving you the dab. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know what that is. Freestyle. Oh, yeah. Well, sort of. It sounds better with the beat, but I don't want us to get the copyright strike. So, Larry, hit like for Max. Yes, thanks, Larry. Let's see. Eddie T, what's up? Nick S, hello, good day. Any thoughts on Bond crypto, please? We'll get into that in a little bit. Just trying to welcome everybody. AT, Tim, Too Much, Eddie T. Everybody's welcome, you guys. All right, I think we're almost to the bottom. Salamander XDC is going crazy. All right, we'll take a look at that too. And then La Grande Commission, too much. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. And let's jump right into it. All right. So we did say that we would talk about or look into bond. We'll get into that a little bit later. Somebody brought up XDC. Let's bring up XDC. Let's see what's actually going on with XDC. All right. So for instance, I'm going to pull this a little bit closer. So let's point out a few good things. All right. Number one, okay. Overall crypto market cap has increased back into the $1 trillion mark. Great things. We want to see that at 7.72% increase over the last day. You want to see these types of things happening. A lot of people felt as though that was going to go the other way with the doom and gloom. It's a funny thing when it comes to that. So was it back in like 1971, right? Nixon basically comes on the television sets. I wasn't there for this, but I could recall history. But what I'm saying is he comes on the television sets. He explains the whole thing that basically the United States is going off the gold standard, right? So at the time, a lot of people felt as though, well, everything's going to crash and burn, okay? But the opposite actually happened, right? Because now it incentivized, I guess you could say, like the stock market. And there was a big rally, so on and so forth. So a lot of times we have the attitude that when doom and gloom is preached, like, basis points going up basically, right? That the overall market is just going to tank, and it's going to tank fiercely. Now, granted, could this basically be just like temporary relief rally? Well, could be. But again, now let's try to see what kind of momentum we will get. I realize there's also the whole talk of maybe possibly basis points going up again in the future. But again, we will take what we can get, especially during these times. So with that said, I did pull up CMC. We're going to pull up XDC. And before I do that, I'm going to go right back into just to see if we're doing well on the comments and stuff. And it looks like we basically are. Oh, cool. Okay. All right. So for instance, yes, XDC. All right. It's doing all right. I mean, it's just kind of like the overall market in general. I mean, it's doing fairly well. I of course, was rooting for this to crash to a penny or under, for I could just, pick up like 100,000 of them for, like 1K. I might not get to that, but at the end of the day, it's still a very, very good price compared to where it was. It was up 33%. Volumes $4.7 million. It's one of those ISO 222s, right? We know the story. Also ranked in the top 100, worthy to point out. Did see a high of the year for 19 cents. How do we know that? Well, when in doubt, zoom out. Basically, this happened late August of 2021. All right, so we're going to get into some of the other news. I'm going to get back to the comments just for a brief bit. And I was just going to tell you guys, I mean, if it's comments amongst each other, like you're just welcoming somebody, don't be upset if I don't read that particular thing. I just want to keep the flow going in regards to the show. So if anything, I get right back into this. Got to get off of that tab. So let's see, where was I last? Let me see. All right. Somebody mentioned, yes. So Salamander mentions XDC, and then let me see. Actually, let me pull up a different tab. That way, it's not as annoying. Okay. So yeah, he says XDC is going crazy. Yep. Sorta. Lagrange Commission says too much. Yeah, you guys said that. Sorry about that. Too much. What's up, Larry? Maria brings a twinkle in your eye. Yeah, I think for everybody, to say the least. BA, you're asking where Larry's at. He has Wednesday nights off. And you guys are talking amongst each other. Yeah, Larry says, I'm here. Maria's a very nice lady. Yep. All right, hold on a second. Just getting a little bit more into it. Lotu of Maui says, I told you, Max. Yeah, you're always saying that. I think you believe that the market just goes up nonstop. That's all right. Blue Whale Ricky, I hope you bought in Larry too late now. Coochie Boy says IDC IOTX anchor must haves. Yes. Let's see. Legrand Commission. I'm glad I got into Ethereum Classic at 13. Tim Shea says Legrand Commission. My ENS is way up too. And then, okay, so let's actually get back to this comment right here. Legrand Commission. I'm glad I got into ETC at 13. Now, in regards to ETC, right? It's one of the top performers of the day. I point that out, of course, in a tweet. But if you look at it overall, right, top 100 in general, I mean, earlier today, this was like, number 2, right behind Quant. And of course, we're going to get more into Quant and discuss it more. But even after everything's kind of settling about in the top 100, it's doing really well. It's currently at 4th. On the 7-day chart, 38%. And again, 29% right now. Now, you may be wondering, well, why is all this? So, if you've been following about some of the things I've been discussing along with Larry on our show, it's worthy to point certain things out. Now, a few days ago, I put a lot of emphasis, if you've been paying attention, that I felt as though something needs to be said in regards to Ethereum Classic, and then also on top of it, where the miner stance is. So let me backtrack for a second. So as we know, the whole thing of 2.0 coming out, Ethereum 2.0. It's not officially called that, and I get it, but I'm just going to refer to it as that. So that's on the near horizon. Could be just early as late September. It might get delayed, but the point is, it's on the near horizon. So you had the whole issue with the miners. I literally brought that up many times. And now you're starting to see how everything's coming to full fruition. So if you're kind of caught up on this, great. If you're not, refer back to some of the other videos that we covered in the recorded section of Crypto Talk Now, the videos, knowing that it kind of helps us out too. But check this out. Yes, I did a recorded video. I'm going to reiterate a few things. So like you see right here, some of the costs for the big jumps today, as far as double digits after what has happened, is basically just that Ant Pool. If you don't know who Ant Pool is, they are a mining pool. They went ahead and added 10 million to back Ethereum Classic. And as you can see right here, like I mentioned, Ethereum Classic is up 14%. Well, it's up more than that. Following crypto miner Ant Pool's $10 million investment in Vitalik's supportive comments. Now, I'm not going to read everything here verbatim, but one thing I definitely want to point out is, like it mentions, right? As we know, the new Ethereum is going from proof of work to proof of stake. If you're a miner, you are directly affected with this. Your ASIC miner is not going to be as profitable. Remember, we addressed this. So as it mentions, a shift to POS would, as in proof of stake, would effectively make Ethereum miners obsolete, right? These are things that were looming. Again, they're being addressed. All eyes are now on Ethereum Classic, which is true, which will continue to operate using more traditional mining mechanisms, right? Ant Pool, like we pointed out before, is basically announcing publicly, as of, I guess, yesterday or today, to back quality projects built on Ethereum Classic, right? So now you have like the incentivization of the old ecosystem, okay? Backed by mining hardware manufacturer Bitmain, Ant Pool is the 3rd largest Bitcoin mining pool and 14th largest Ethereum mining pool, according to data from BTC.com. At Bitmain's World Digital Mining Summit yesterday, Ant Pool CEO Leon LV announced their support for Ethereum Classic as it continues to operate as proof of work network. Quote, let's support the ETC ecosystem and incubate high quality POW projects together, tweeted Ant Pool early Wednesday morning. Now, back to all of the topic of this. Now, what I want to point out before I get back into the comments is this. Here at Crypto Talk Now, we want to put focus on what? Use case cryptos, right? We have shifted a lot of things from going from the puppy doggy news of the world to you got to have your cryptos in something that has great use case. You always hear the expression, does your crypto have great utility? So on and so forth. But at the same time, whether you're a long-term investor or a short-term investor, you always want to recognize the great opportunities. And how do you recognize the opportunities? Well, I'll say this much. I'm a humble person. I never try to brag or anything like that. But over the last few days, I have tried to lay the groundwork for you to recognize what? Supply and demand, right? Pay close attention to ones in which there's a lot of demand. Perfect example, Ethereum Classic. You see now how there's a tremendous amount of demand from a miner's perspective for Ethereum Classic. Now, you may have the attitude also, well, that only affects miners. Not exactly true. It affects what? It affects the ecosystem behind it. Before, you had a use case of, well, there's a few people still in this ecosystem and so on. Now, what has happened? Strong, huge demand to go back to this particular crypto asset, its ecosystem. Why? Because what's going on, not just with the miners, but if you think about it, some of the comments that were basically made from Antpool. You're incentivizing people to go to an older ecosystem for a whole bunch of different reasons outlined. Now, you don't have to read up all about it, but at the end of the day, like I always point out, follow the money, follow which ones have the demand. Ethereum Classic has tremendous demand right now. As a result, what's happening? Huge upside in regards to the asset. So we're going to kick it back to the comments just here briefly, and then we're going to go over some other things. So let's get right back into it. Let's see. Oh, man. Well, we got good problems. All right. So, yeah, Lagrange commission. And I'm just going to double check over here on the other one because I know sometimes when Larry is doing it, he mentions that StreamYard doesn't keep up with the super chat. So I'm just double checking both sides to make sure if I miss out on super chat. So, yes, thank you, Lagrange, for that before your comment. And if you got in at 13, I mean, man, you're doing really, really well. You saw, the potential Ethereum Classic. Tim Shea, Lagrange commission. My ENS is way up too. Yeah, that's just a conversation amongst each other. Again, guys, it's not me trying to be rude. If it just appears to be a conversation amongst each other, I'm not going to read that. The Jin, Max, how are you doing tonight? I'm doing really, really well. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's see here. He's just hollering at Jin. I missed a super chat. Did I? I apologize if I did. Let me see. Oh, I did. Edward Vincent super chat. I am so sorry, Edward Vincent. I do apologize for that. It's probably because it came up right directly after I read Michael Cornwell. So there we go. Edward Vincent with the $1 super chat. I apologize. You gotta keep in mind, this is the first time I got it where I'm not reading it from both screens like I was doing it before, like from YouTube. I'm doing it actually through StreamYard to make it more professional. So bear with me. Next time around, I'll have it more down, just like anything, right? You got a farmer learning how to, drive a tractor for the first time. Oh, there you go. But yeah, thank you, Edward Vincent. I'm going to get back to the other comments. Let me see here. Oh, boy. Good problems, I guess. I think that might be where we're at. Let me see. Boy, oh, boy. I can see where Larry has his problems. Like, where am I? You get really lost. I mean, these are good problems. Okay, I kind of have an idea where I'm at now. There we go. You missed a super chat. Okay. Menelect. Quant is the next Bitcoin. Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely is. I couldn't possibly agree more in that regard. Check out the recorded video in regards to that. We're going to get a little bit more into Quant here in a bit. I'm glad you brought it up. Simon Ravencroft states, oh man, look at all that zoom in. That is just too much. So let me see if I could just pull up a different thing. I can't. I don't know why it zooms in like that, like crazy. But anyway, Simon Ravencroft. So today I took some profit out of Luna. Then, I'm gonna do the stop screen for a second. Hold on. There we go. So he says, so today I took some profit out of Luna T, okay, the Lunatics burn and rewards token, then put it back in as the price drops, so at least I know it works. Plus, it's been getting Luna Classic rewards every day. That's great to hear. I'm glad to see that people, who did decide to invest in that are reporting some good things, to say the least, which is very, very good. It looks like we did have another super chat that came in. Hold on a second. Just double checking. All right. And there we go. I was thinking it came from some but it came from La Grande Commission. Thank you, Max and Larry, for all your hard work. Yes, thank you, La Grande Commission, with the $2 super chat. Really appreciate it, my friend. I can't thank you enough in that regard. Very, very cool and very, very generous of you. We're going to get back to the other comments. Man, sometimes, like I said, I mean, in the future when the show just kind of, I don't know, double the amount of people or whatever, it's going to get too crazy to read all this, to be honest. It's sometimes it's hard to keep up with it. Larry does, what? You guys may think, there might be some people who think, man, Larry doesn't read through it enough. I'll tell you this much. He does a great job reading through it. Seeing all this, it's kind of intimidating to a sense. All right, here we go. So I read that one. And let's see here. Hopefully I'm saying it right. I apologize if I'm not. Mentellect. Okay. Yeah, intellect and mentellect. I get it now. Ethereum 2.0 is unregistered security, and ETH 2.0 fees will be the same, and high fees is the true ETH killer. Well, yeah, that might very well be true. I mean, my thing is, you would think that it would be designed to eliminate some of these fees, but I guess we'll have to see how it goes. Mentellect ETC will be a store of value, perhaps. I think so. We'll have to see how things progress long term, especially with the onboarding of other projects actually coming into this ecosystem again. But yeah, I mean, I think the word on the streets or the highlight of the year is just the term. If you had to pick one term, it'd be like just the word classic. Of course, not referring to the negative aspects of the Luna crash, but all right. So getting a little bit more into it. Simon Ravencroft started with 50 sterling or 50 pounds, buy in, and pulled out 300 pounds and then put it back in. Okay. Larry says 17 likes. Please consider hitting the like, especially if your name is Mike. All right. Well, thank you for that. And let's see here. Blue Whale Ricky is very tricky. Big news. 10 days of Do Kwon to respond, and if not, then implement automatic, or is it old news? I haven't been reporting as much about Do Kwon lately. I was thinking about doing it, but it's just, I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things. It's like, people don't want to hear the same thing every day. They want to hear news, of course, about Luna Classic, but it's more just that, like how things are pumping, burns and so on. So if it's significant, we'll report on it again, to say the least. So, but thank you for that. All right. Mentellect, XRP, XLM, XDC, XSP, CeeLo, WTK, Algorand, Quant, EWT, ALBT, HBAR, VET. Yeah, I love VET. Casper and a few others have massive use cases. Yeah, absolutely. Why? Because the majority of the ones you just mentioned there are what? ISO 222. XRP would definitely be for what they're going to be doing with the whole central banking system, cross-border payments and stuff like that. I look at XLM as being literally the Western Union of crypto, if you will, but like blazing fast. Um, as we know about, XDC is part of that whole mix. Um, Algorand obviously is part of the whole mix. Quant, shoot, are you kidding? I talk about Quant daily. I'm very passionate about Quant. Believe it or not, HBAR is one of those ones that stands out, but I need to look more into it. I'll be honest. And of course, I talk a lot about VET. Believe it or not, VET is ISO 222 as far as the inventory perspective of it, right? And we covered VET plenty of times. Casper, I still need to look more into it as well. But yeah, I mean, they have all tremendous use cases. I couldn't possibly agree more. And it's just simply as that, you need to make sure that your cryptos have tremendous use cases. So, all right, getting a little bit back into the comments. Let's see. Edward Vincent, it's all good, brother. Yep, thank you for that. Tim Shea, words of wisdom. Always good to take profits. Yeah, I couldn't possibly agree more. Hump Not Dub says, "What's up, guys?" And then let's see here. Michael Cornwell, community members, when we are talking to each other, we need to say at Selma or at Ricky so Larry Max works the comments so they can focus on what they need. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for pointing that out. That helps us. That's basically, it's just that. I mean, we only have so much time and so on. And let's see here. We got, yeah. Larry says that's a good idea, brother. And you guys are just thanking each other for the info. All right. Larry, okay, hold on. Okay, talking amongst each other. All right. Blue Whale Ricky. Actually, I'm gonna get to the one before that. I apologize. Max P. Love Quant and a few other coins, but XRP will always be my main wife. LOL. Yeah, that's my attitude. XRP is my main focus, and then Quant. But I don't know, man. As of lately, I've been really getting like, I don't know, just wanting to learn more and more and more about Quant and everything. But yeah, XRP is still, as far as an investor point of view, my main focus of accumulation, to say the least. All right, now back to Blue Whale Ricky. I don't like my name. I want something catchy. If anyone wants to help, my last name is long and no one will be able to read it. Okay. You don't like, why don't you like your name? Is it you don't like your name Ricky in general, or anyway, I have to explain it. All right. So let's get more back into this. Okay. So for one, we were recently talking about the whole thing with the Ethereum Classic. Now, the other thing I want to point out is Quant. So at the beginning of the day, I released a video. Larry uploaded not that long ago. Talks about what's recently going on with Quant. So if you look at Quant, for instance, right now, I mean, it's sitting at 96.45. It was one of the top performers of the day. All sorts of good stuff, right? But like I pointed out, why is there so much fuss about Quant, and why should you, as in a potential investor, look more into it? Well, there's a whole grocery list of it. We won't be able to cover it all in one day, but I will state this. All right. When it comes to Quant, check this out. I'm gonna give you a little background. So Gilbert Verdian, all right, he's very transparent. He is the CEO and founder of Quant. Gilbert is focused on unlocking the power of blockchain for everyone to create an empowered, interconnected world. Now, I'm not trying to bore you, but there's some things I want to point out that's worthy of a mention. Gilbert has more than 20 years of cybersecurity experience and C-level accountability as a Cisco CIO and CTO. He has worked in government for Downing Street, HM Treasury, the Cabinet Office, Ministry of Justice, and NSW Health, and has also served in the private sector at MasterCard, VocalLink, and some of these other ones like HSBC. Now, for one, three key takeaways, I should say. He's worked in the private sector with MasterCard. That's great, right? And we're going to get into why I'm pointing some of this out. Top of that, level of accountability with Cisco, right? If you're not familiar with Cisco, you should be. They're basically like, the standard, if you will, when it comes to computer network infrastructure. Okay. You think of like how, the big servers and data centers are set up and so on. Is a lot of times they use Cisco. Um, and then in general, just the 20 years of experience he has. Now, listen to this. We recently covered a video in regards to putting focus on Quant. Now, in that particular video, I outline a few key things. So for one, we just talked about the whole thing with MasterCard, right? Believe it or not, Gilbert Verdian had recent Zoom meetings, right? Conference calls with quite a few different people. We're talking high ups with Visa. Again, refer back to his MasterCard experience. And then he also has on the Zoom call who? This particular gentleman. And again, I realize I've done a video about this, but for a lot of you guys, maybe you haven't seen this. And if anything, I'm going to pound it home a little bit more. So if you don't know who this gentleman is, his name is Thomas Harjano. He's basically a doctor. He's a professor, right? Very impressive. So the short bio, just to, make it quicker for you. Dr. Thomas Harjano is currently the CTO of Connection Science and Technical Director of the MIT, yeah, that's right, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Trust Data Consortium located at MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Previously, he led the development of MIT Kerberos Network Authentication open source project at MIT, promoting Kerberos to be the most ubiquitously deployed symmetric key authentication protocol in the world. I know it sounds complicating, but here's the key thing I want to point out. He spent nearly 2 decades in the technology industry. He has held numerous leadership roles in a range of technology companies and industries, from IP routing to tamper-resistant hardware, and then wait for the best, here's the cream of the crop, to digital identity management, confidential computing, and crypto assets. Now, you may be wondering, why is this all important? Well, the reason why this is all important is because of what? It's important because, for one, I needed to share that part on the screen, and I didn't, but nonetheless, I will. And I'm going to show you this guy's face again. And here we go. So this guy right here, we first talked about the CEO, Gilbert Verdian. And then there's this guy. All right, this is the MIT professor I was talking about. So again, I'm going to pound it home a little bit more. Tamper-resistant hardware, digital identity management, confidential computing, and crypto assets. This guy has spent the last 20 years of his life devoting to what? His craft, right? It's just that, his craft. Why would somebody like that, as in Dr. Thomas Harjano, want to have a meeting, if you will, a virtual web meeting with the likes of Visa, by the way, a CEO of the Bank of Canada, and also Gilbert Verdian, this gentleman you see right here, of Quant? Could it be possibly because they realize what Quant is trying to solve and achieve from a global perspective? Again, if you don't know about Quant, you really need to look into it. Why? Because if anything, it is the blockchain of blockchains. It's literally a blockchain operating system. Everything is going to be connected basically through Quant, especially when it comes to these ISO 200/2020. If you don't recognize the significance of that, how it's going to affect cross-border payments, how it's going to affect the APIs, right? I mean, shoot, from the payment model, from the banking sector. I mean, on and on and on. We're going to get back into the comments here in a second, but the thing I want to also point out is this. People want to make the assumption, hey, Max, we're never going to achieve some of these crazy price levels that they're saying for Quant, like $1,000, $10,000, even as high within many, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. But the fact remains that on the roadmap between November of 2022 and 2025, it's the whole thing with ISO 200/22 compliancy, right? And if anything, don't focus so much on the current market caps that you see. focus on the adoption of the actual utility. So again, guys, when it comes to Quant being the blockchain for all of this, right? The operating system for all of this is massive. Quant is connected to everything. So when you hear that statement from earlier about how Quant is basically like, is going to be the next Bitcoin, that's not too far off. Now, you heard claims from all sorts of other cryptos that make that assumption. Look more into Quant. You'll find out more about why that statement could be very well true. I'm going to kick it back to the comments. Let's see here. All right. So let's see. My goodness. Dude, stop sharing for a second. Get back to that. Makes it a lot easier. All right. So I think last time I read, just trying to catch up here. Michael Cornwell says that's a good deal. That's not the one. Man. Okay, I think it was about Blue Whale Ricky and his name. So shortly after that. All right. So I think it's hump, not dump. All right. At the fam, don't FOMO. Wait till tomorrow to see what to buy. Okay. You guys having a conversation amongst each other. Oh, what's this? Larry at LOL Max P. So the other cryptos are your side chicks? Oh, jeez. Okay. You guys having a funny conversation amongst each other. All right. Hump, not dump. Your last name sounds like the kicker. The Jin. You guys haven't talked. Okay. Amongst each other. All right. Max P. LO, yes. All the rest are just like the side chicks. Okay. Mentellect. Quant connects the entire QFS. Nothing else does. Yeah, I mean, just things like that. I mean, Quant basically is my number 2. It used to be XDC, is now moved to my number 3. But those are my top 3. Number 1 is XRP. A close second is Quant. And believe it or not, number 3 for me is XDC, currently speaking. In regards to how I feel about Stellar Lumens, I mean, I'm still a fan of it. It just I already have a bag of it. I'm going to accumulate more, but I need to get those. I know I was suggesting Ricky CZ. Okay, Tim Shea. Hold on a second. Larry states, please hit the like if you like Quant, HBAR, XRP, XLM, XDC, and Algorand. Yeah, thank you for that. And then the Jin says, welcome to all the people in the chat. Let's see. Edward Vincent, he looks like Gilbert. No offense. Who looks like Gilbert? Okay. Are you saying I look like Gilbert? I don't care. I mean, if I do, that's fine. All right. Believe it or not. Oh, okay. It was from Twitch, but sometimes it's spam. All right. Mentellect. Quant is going 6 digits as the floor. Quant will transact more value than any other crypto on Earth, including XRP. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I see 5 digits being on the near horizon, believe it or not, especially after November with the whole, thing of various countries becoming, ISO 222 compliant. And then, of course, the whole process of going from there to, what's going to happen in 2023 and so on. So we're right around the corner from all this. But I think at minimum 5 digits. And then some of these other things, I mean, I know some people are like, oh, man, that's just whack. There's just no way. Something I definitely want to point out, and I will, or actually I have, check out the recent video in regards to market cap, right? If we achieve $500 billion market cap, which is actually, believe it or not, I know that sounds nuts. That's lowballing it for Quant. There's some great examples about what the actual price would be, because I know a lot of people put a lot of focus on the price of the actual coins. But instead, it's more like focus on the utility, the adoption, so on and so forth. And the example that we have for the video outlines for just about 2 to 3% of the overall market, as in what's going to be happening in the likes of, Europe, Southeast Asia, things like that. All right, moving along. Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. So should I put Quant ahead of XRP? I I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I'm real close for me personally. I mean, it's not financial advice, but you know, I'm almost there because I mean, for me, quants like this, I look at like monumental things happening. What do I mean? When I thought of like the Bitcoin halving, before the halving, right? Recognizing the opportunities, those who got in before the halving, right? For me, this is the next monumental thing. So if you look at it from that perspective, then maybe you want to consider that. Again, I can't tell you what to do because it's not financial advice. Rafael Santos, always great to see you, my friend. Good day, Sir Max. Good day, Crypto Talk Now community. Yes, thank you, Rafael. We always appreciate you and our Filipino community. And the Jin, Max, I like the gamer's background. It looks like the Ghost of Tsushima game. Correct me. Well, as you guys know, I have a gaming background before Maximus Crypto and the likes of that. I mean, I guess I'll show you guys just real quick. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. So before all of that, hold on. You could. I'm gonna go back here. So for instance, before I joined up with Larry back in April, this was my my whole thing, right? Which is Maximus Crypto, and I covered various different ones. But here's the other thing, right? Do switch account. So for instance, you have this right here. Let me see. That's not it. I'll just type it in. I'll just talk about this briefly. So I was really into like gaming, right? And I did pretty well. I had about 7,200 subscribers and so on. And yeah, I would teach people how to fly in Battlefield 5. And you want to see how well I did with it? I'll show you how well I did with it. I did pretty well. 124,000 views on that one. A few over 100,000 views. But the thing is, it wasn't as rewarding as crypto education and so on. Like I could put out a video with over 100,000 views and basically, I don't know, man, get like 50 subs. It's like, are you kidding? And then as far as the AdSense on it, would make like, I don't know, $25. So it's just, and knowing that every time I put out a video, I felt like I had to hit it out of the park, if you will. Like people expected me to, carpet bomb, half the enemy team every time. Like it was starting to stress me out instead of just having fun. But anyway, yeah, the background, to kind of give you an idea, it kind of comes from that. It's the gaming side of me, to a sense. All right, so getting back into some of the comments. But thank you for that. Tim Shea, XDC will have a better return on investment. Edward Vincent, no, sir, you look like Max. I was referring to Gilbert Verdian, CEO at Quant. No, sir, you look like Max. No, sir, I am Max. I look like me because I am me. I'm not understanding that real. I'm sorry. Let's see. That room is cool. Max goes there to chill and do his thing. Thank you. You know what? I've been getting a lot of compliments about that background. Believe it or not, people in the comment on the videos and so on. They've been saying, hey, really nice looking background. So if anything, it does. I don't know, man. Like people think it's the real deal. Hey, that's cool. That's the whole point of it, right? For it to look real. So Edward Vincent says Gilbert is cool. Mentellect. People don't understand that market cap is not money. It's only value. So market cap does not limit crypto prices. Oh, okay. Michael Cornwell, the more you learn about ISO 222, the less you care about puppy dog coins. I mean, playing stuff is fun, but generational wealth lies into the technology that is the future of the monetary system. Yes. How true is that? It's absolutely right. I will take a moment to recognize Michael Cornwell in that regard. I want to thank you, Michael Cornwell, because you know what? You did a very good job as a community member here and also a member of Crypto Talk Now. Think about how many people now know about ISO 222. I feel as though moving forward, we're going to continuously cover ISO 222 here. But I am not going to BS anybody, and you guys, expect that, right? And I'm sure you appreciate it. I have to learn more about the likes of Casper, HBAR, some of these other ones. I get really super focused on certain ones like Quant, XRP, XDC, and so on, because that is what excites me right now. That doesn't dismiss any of the other ones. I kind of like look at these ISO 222s, using the analogy like, you want to diversify your portfolio. Well, you want to diversify your ISOs to a sense. So my thing is, some of them might have similar use cases, but it's kind of like the analogy of, are you going to rent a car from one set rental car company? Is it only going to come from Hertz? No. There's other ones that are going to provide you that service. There's going to be the likes of Enterprise, so on and so forth. So my attitude is, there's nothing wrong with having a bag of some of the other ones, because if anything, if one gets hot and the other one currently isn't, then that's going to help you out, especially in your portfolio. But yeah, I love, how you mentioned that in regards to the puppy dog coins. And my thing is this: I am so done with that crap, because it basically is just that. It's garbage. Now there is exceptions to the rule, right? If you insist on being involved with certain, meme focused ones, stick to the originals. It's kind of like pop, right? Stick to Coke, stick to Pepsi. Don't go with the bargain brand, if you will. It might taste good, but different kind of analogy. But my point is this: I obviously am a big fan of Shiba Inu because I'm directly affected from that. If it wasn't for Shiba Inu, I don't even know if I'd be here with you guys in that regard. So there are ones like that. But I mean, as far as the low market cap crap coin that just has a painted face of a cartoon character, and it doesn't really provide any real world utility, and they're trying to tell you about the promises of the vision of what's going to be in store for the future. Again, it's all just what? The vision and the hope, hence why they call it hopium, right? So my point is this: put more of your focus on the ones with strong utility. You'd be more than glad that you will. And if you have to have the likes of Shiba Inu or Dogecoin or some of these other ones in your portfolio, there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want to see you guys, and again, it's not financial advice, it's just, this is just how I just generally feel about it. For me personally, it's literally just this: I'm putting 95% of all my future investments into solid use case cryptos, whether it's ISO 222s, whether it's like, the likes of Ethereum Classic, those type of things, because they do have real use cases. And then the other 5%, well, maybe a low market cap token, but they have to show me something that's just beyond impressive. Or maybe something from DeFi, right? I know that, I talk about Clearpool, for instance, right? Clearpool is like an exception to that, because the way I look at it is they're doing amazing things in DeFi. And on top of that, if I was in an organization, I want to raise a bunch of capital. Are you kidding me? Clearpool would be the go-to place as far as that goes. So getting back into a little bit more of the comments. Larry's thanking you all for joining the show today. He appreciates all the comments from all you beautiful people. Yes, absolutely. And I do see that we happen to have, let me see here, 161 beautiful people, as Larry would point out, watching. We appreciate you all. If this is your first time connecting to our show, consider changing your avatar, the little circular thing left of your name, to something that's more of a hobby or something that speaks more about what you're about, for we can learn more about you. We have a welcoming community here, and it's just that nobody is going to bash you or try to be e-bully, or hopefully nobody's trolling anybody. But for the most part, we have a very mature audience, and also very intelligent investors here who recognize opportunities, and also have maybe come from the past, from like, the puppy dog Inu projects, but want to learn more about cryptos with solid use cases. All right. So that is from Larry. And going further, I got to catch up on the comments. I apologize for that. Let's see. Yep, I saw that one. All right, Menelec. Quant is a coin you would buy if God was your financial advisor. Menelec, thumbs up. Okay, you guys are asking each other, which is fine. All right, Edward Vincent. I'm still a nub. Okay, on Quant and holding money for the doom and gloom day. Seemingly more and more information about it comes every day. Menelect, hashtag dollar cost average another day. So, for instance, for me, I'm glad you mentioned this, and it's basically like this. For me personally, when it comes to Quant, I put a lot of focus on November, and I'm looking at how the market is going to be by November. If I see any hint of like, up, crypto winter is over. I'm not talking about crypto winter as the community member. I'm talking about crypto winter as in, the doom and gloom, all this crash that's happened these many months. If I see it's really, really over, I'm going to announce it's really, really over. I'm not going to BS you guys as far as that goes. Excuse me. But I will say this. I'm not going to sit around on the sidelines and wait for everything to just skyrocket. And then I'm going to have to pay quadruple the amount for one quant. So, you got to pay attention to what's going on. We are going to continually cover quant, recorded videos, and so on. So if you watch the live and you're the person that doesn't watch the recorded, by all means, please watch the recorded, because we do bring you the latest updates in regards to quant. We give you what's, the educational perspective, like me pointing out things like, for instance, the MIT professor, those type of things. It's just worthy to mention. It's just good research at the end of the day, and we want to bring you guys good research. So let me get back to the comments. Let's see here. Oh boy. All right. So that was from Edward Vincent, and we appreciate that. Crypto Talk Now. I like my white couch. It's good for Patches to conduct his special interviews after hours. Nice. All right. Samuel Hook. As Larry would say, Samuel, don't call me Captain Hook. We appreciate you, man. How's everybody doing? I hope all is well. Things are great, Samuel. Good to see you. And Coochie Boy. Max, have you ever covered my guy Mario at Annoying TV Gaming NBA 2K channel? No, I have not. Believe it or not, my gaming channel was mainly focused on Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty. Just basically, how should I explain this? So back in the good old days, right, we would refer to, if you were like destroying somebody, right? People say, man, I'm owning this guy. And then like by the early 2000s, people call it like you're pwning some guy, because basically when you type in the chat, you type in the word, you're owning, and people would accidentally hit the P. So you're pwning. Nowadays they call it, you're wrecking somebody, you get wrecked or whatever, right? I come from the old school of pwning. But anyway, the point is this. I would put a lot of focus on what? The gaming side of it, like showing how well I'm just destroying people and how you can destroy people. So it's kind of like a walkthrough / tutorial. I never did anything like this. And believe it or not, I'm actually thinking about doing once a week, where I re-enable DPG Maximus and I talk about various different games that are standing out. And, kind of like I bring like a reporting, if you will, kind of like what I'm doing here, but from a gaming perspective. If you're following me on Twitter, I might go ahead and send out the announcement. And actually, I'm going to use it as a segue for here as well, like letting people know, hey, by the way, if you've been missing me for however many months, I'm doing this whole crypto thing. So I think it'd be a good thing for both. I kind of want to discuss it with Larry a little bit more, though. All right, so a little bit more. I know you guys got some other comments coming in, which is good, real good. We love that. Let's see. So, oh boy. All right. Michael Cornwell. Guys, we are here. We know what's coming. 99% of people that show up to FOMO in will be the ones we build generational wealth with. But We build our wealth here. Please invite whom you care for. Yeah, guys, at the end of the day, what stands out for us, I think what stands out for us personally is just that. Um, it's the whole idea that we are a community. We are. You guys get to know each other. I mean, that's why I'm telling you guys, get an avatar. If you're new to the show, get an avatar because it's a visual identification, right? Can you imagine if we had driver's licenses that had no picture attached to it? you know? So I mean, yeah, that's one way you could look at it. All right, let's get back into the comments. I'm just trying to keep up with some of this. I'm trying to get back to it. All right. Coochie boy, I've been in XDC almost 2 years. It's just too slow for me. Well, I hear you. But if you look at a lot of it, there's some reasons why it's all slow. How about this? I'm gonna show you guys a quick example. I know I need to get more back in the comments. I'm gonna show you guys. Meant to show you guys this earlier. I'll do a share again. Let me see. Share screen. I'll just do a tab this time. Let's look at where the heck is this? Huh. Yeah, I lost it. Well, I'll pull it up here in a second. But yeah, I'm gonna get more into the comments in a second. But it was on Coinbase price. Yeah, I know where I could pull that up. I don't know why I lost the tab for it for some reason, but I'm gonna pull it up here in a second. So QNT Quant. I know we're talking about XDC, but I just want to give an example of how things can be boring and then how things could become amazing. All right, here we go. Let's go back to the share screen or share tab this time because I don't want to do that whole zoom in thing. That could get kind of annoying. All right, hopefully you guys see that. I think you do. Yep, you do. All right. So yes, we will get back into the comments, but check this out, guys. This is Quant, okay, and it's worthy to point this out. All right, so it is up 8,860% since its inception. Okay, or actually more than that, 8,800. Yeah, okay, 8,860%. Now look at this. This is roughly 2018 back here. Let me zoom in a little more. So back here, it's like, early or late October 2018. Sitting at like a little above a buck. Oh man, I mean that was beautiful, right? So I mean, look at how boring. I guess you could say this was. There's a lot of boringness, right? Even into like 2020, 2021. I mean, it's kind of boring. I mean, but you are seeing it increase from $1, $2, $3, right? But once you get to 2022, or I'm sorry, once you get to 2019, it's getting less boring. So my point is this, a lot of times things start out that way and you want to see things explode because maybe you had a taste of it through, hence why you might be here, right? From, the puppy dog e-news of the world and those type of things. My thing is this, I think a lot of us, right? Let me get back to it. A lot of us put too much focus on that. You were into Dogecoin, you're in the Shiba Inu, and then like Saitama came around, and then you just thought it was all going to do that, and then it turned out that it didn't all do that. And now you guys, of course, are putting a lot more focus in some real legitimate long-term assets that are going to be that generational wealth. I get it. Some people got lucky and they got into these puppy dog projects like on day one, like literally day one. They picked up a big bag, saw it go to like the first major pump, all-time highs, and then they got out, right at the peak. And then, those people then shifted their assets to the likes of these particular coins and tokens, which is great. That's the way we should go about it. But at the end of the day, just too many of us turn a blind eye. And so as a result, you're so used to that type of explosion. And when you get something like, XDC, like as you would say, is boring. You've been in it for 2 years. Well, it's totally different. And so you want to hop into, everything is just going to explode. You want a nonstop explosion. We all do. It's like fireworks, right? You want to see a nonstop explosion. And the one that hasn't exploded yet, you got to keep in mind it will. You just got to be a little bit more patient. I know it doesn't sound popular nowadays to be patient, but let's face it, if you've been in crypto for at least 2 years plus, you have learned to become patient. All right, going a little bit more into the comments. Michael Cornwell, we will come here one day, 20 days into the bull run, and thousands of people will be flooding in to buy, and will be 100x by then. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that is very, very true. Michael Cornwell also says, XTC is just now getting its use case with Flare. Time to get back in, brother. Yeah, and in my case, I just need to pick up a big bag of it and go with it. Menelect. Shiba Inu and Doge are gateway coins for those new to crypto so they can adopt crypto. Then later they can do research and expand to utility coins. Yes! Thank you. I literally just said that before the comment. See, Menelect has good intellect and we're on par. You and I, obviously we think the same when it comes to this. That's a great point. It is a gateway. It absolutely is a gateway. Dogecoin was my gateway. I got into it with Robinhood. I was a crypto noob at one point, just like everybody, and that was my gateway to like, wow, I bought that for dirt cheap, like, pennies on the dollar, like literally like a penny. So what am I typing in next? I'm literally going to like Google. I don't know squat at that point. And I'm going in on the Google and I'm doing what? I'm typing in cryptos that are a penny or under. Guess what shows up on my list? Shiba Inu. Oh, what's this? Oh, I do a little bit more research. Oh, wow, this sounds way more impressive than Dogecoin. This actually, they have a vision for some kind of utility for the future. I need to read more about that. And I do. Turn 8K into 88K. You guys already know the story. But the point is, those are the gateways. The problem is, it opened the door for crap. Let's face it. And as a result, people just thought, well, this is what's hot. It's just going to continue to be hot. It was hot because of the bull market at the time, right? So I'll state this much. For all the crap coins you have, don't sell it right now. Wait for the bull market to come back, approaching those things at all-time highs. And I will state this much. And once it hits all-time highs, by all means, take the profits. Maybe take all the profits when it comes to the crap coins. Take profits off the top for the ones with solid utility, maybe keep a moonbag. But when it comes to these crap ones that haven't been doing squat for the longest time, I'll put it this way, okay? Mononoke Inu, okay? I'm invested in Mononoke Inu, unfortunately. But guess what? If Mononoke Inu gets some of this trickle down crumbs and it ends up exploding for whatever reason, because we end up seeing Bitcoin get back up to 66,000 plus, like new all-time highs, and Ethereum at new all-time highs, and it's going to affect the overall crypto market where it affects all these altcoins. Well, if the likes of Mononoke Inu, I see that my portfolio is back in the green, guess what? I'm not keeping a moonbag of Mononoke Inu. I'm out, right? I'm just saying that. Again, it's not financial advice for you. That's what I'm personally doing. All right. Let's see here. Oh, man, I am behind a little bit. Okay. I think I'm close. Let's see. I think that's where we're at. Yep, that's where we're at. All right, Edward Vincent. Until the government tells me that they are going to euthanize all the dog coins, I still dig some SHIB. At Michael Cornwell, utility is for real. The key. You were totally right. At Maximus, I feel you. Yeah, thank you for that. Tim Shea. Larry, are you bullish on Voyager? I think he is. Rafael Santos, please pray for the Philippines, especially those families who lost their houses because of the massive earthquake that hits us yesterday. Yeah, absolutely. We will pray for them. When I tell you guys that let me zoom out. When I tell you guys I pray, I don't just say that just because, that sounds good. I actually do pray. I pray for quite a few people, and I actually pray for our country. I pray for especially those in the Ukraine and those type of things. I just feel like it's a good habit to be into. I feel incredibly blessed for all the community we have here, the relationship I have with Larry, the people I met along the way. Shout out to Lagrange Commission. He's a pastor. You know, he prays for people. He asked me about like how my girlfriend's Uncle Wally's doing. And he's been improving and so on. So like we have a really nice community here, and don't ever think that we take it for granted. We appreciate each and every one of you. That's why we do the whole thing of incentivizing new people, especially if this is the first time you ever came here, to basically come in, change your avatar where we can identify quickly who you are, and then you become a regular. It's a community we got here, and it's great, and I think people appreciate that. So yes, I need to actually contact a couple of my aunts, one who's particularly in Mindanao, my aunt Puring. She has a nipa hut, right? I don't know if you, of course, you know what that is, Raphael, but for people who don't know what that is, it's like it's made out of bamboo. Literally, the top of your roof looks like it's hay. It's not hay; it's a different material. But they had to deal with things of like typhoons where it comes on, and literally, she was telling me, she was like, there was a major typhoon that happened last year, and it blew her whole entire roof off, and all she had time to go in, as the saying goes, right? Like if there's a fire, all the time she had was to go in, get the pictures of my uncle and her family, and get out. And she uploaded the picture. It was a sweet picture. It was when she married my uncle back in like 1966, if I'm not mistaken. And so I was glad that she was able to, recover that and so on. So you never realize how good you got it. Like maybe one of the worst days here, I understand how bad it is for some of these other people and so on. It's not being dismissive. It's just telling them like it is. So count your blessings. As the saying goes, count them one by one. Count your many blessings. See what God has done. I truly believe that. So next we got Hump Not Dump. Kathy was dumps Coinbase and takes 75% loss. Was that smart? I don't know. I'll have to look a little bit more into like how she went about and so on. So I gotta get more up to date on that. All right, Tim Shea. I hope you and your family are okay, Raphael. Yeah, thank you for that. Hump Not Dump says prayer too much. Max, if you had the opportunity to invest in a token that launched, hold on a second. This darn chair's driving me nuts. There we go. I know sometimes you guys probably see me like adjust this chair and you're like, well, why don't you go with a more comfortable chair? I actually have a more comfortable chair, but after you sit on crap for long enough, you get so used to that you prefer that. I know, it sounds nuts. All right. Max, if you had the opportunity to invest in a token that launched with 15 zeros and had a, my goodness, how many zeros is that? So $100,000 market cap, would you drop $500 into it? Most likely not, because I'm saying, I'm shifting my focus away from those type of things. It would have to be like a fully doxed team. So number one, if you're choosing to do this, okay, this day and age, they have to be a fully doxed team. So what stands out for me, somebody like Shibnobi, okay, they're killing it with that, right? They set the standard as far as, the low market cap ones that are fully doxed. So something like that. Yeah, I'm also investing into Shiba Doge, but I'll be honest. Once I see like new all-time highs with Shiba Doge, if it erased a few zero, like if it went parabolic, in which I saw my original investment where I got like basically 2 quintillion, the math makes sense with something like that. But again, they stated the reasons why they're not fully doxed, and I get that. But if I was a new investor coming into that, I might not be really cool with that based on what I've learned in my own crypto journey and so on. That's not me fudding my own bag. That's just me telling it like it is. So I'm still impressed with the likes of Shiba Doge. And, what originally appealed me was the 16 zeros. And that's why I got into that. And I put in, I have 2 quintillion. Now, does that mean I put in like, $5 grand into it? No, but I was still able to get a huge bag for super cheap. And at one point, I could have sold that bag and collected like a little over $2,800 in profit. Now, looking back on it, maybe I should have done that because, I could have just got back in. That's the whole key thing that a lot of people don't realize. You can sell it get back in if you choose to do so. For me personally, I'm looking at Shiba Doge from a long-term perspective. I'm not going to lose focus of why I originally got into it. I originally got into it because the 16 zeros were very appealing, and because once it starts shaving off those zeros, especially if you hold over a quintillion, it's different with the math with quadrillions and so on. And there's been plenty of YouTubers that have covered that. I'm just pointing out this. For me, that was what was appealing. I like the community that they have because obviously I hold Shiba Inu and Doge. But next time around, if it goes parabolic and I'm able to, we're talking insanely parabolic, right? So like we're talking like Bitcoin, Ethereum is at like all-time highs. And for whatever reason, it's affecting these altcoins. And Shiba Doge stands out. Shiba Doge. With the math for me, if I got up to like $50,000 or $90,000 in the green in profits, you better believe I'm not going to be the guy who's going to be like, well, maybe I should hold on to this because man, this is something else. Maybe if I hold on another year, I could get $1 million. No, man, don't be too greedy when it comes to taking your profits. Okay, I just want to say that. So. It's not financial advice. It's just telling them like it is. So, all right. Moving to the next comment. Okay, hold on. Edward Vidson. Pwned. Yes. Old school. You get pwned. You don't get wrecked. You get pwned. Anyway. You guys have a conversation among each other. All right, Larry. Praying for the people of the Philippines for safety. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Larry. Let's see. All right, Coochie Boy, the meme coins and the puppy dog Inus will be the access to the metaverse and Web3. Okay, I see where you're coming from in that regard. Some of the things we can agree to disagree and so on. I think there's certain ones that will, and I think the majority of the ones won't. But we can agree to disagree on that one, and that's how things should be in this day and age, to agree to disagree. All right. You guys having a conversation among yourself. Let's see. Coochie Boy, Coinbase delisted XDC when they delisted XRP. Well, that's Coinbase. I'm not a big, as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of Coinbase. I'm going to have to do KYC on August 6th if I choose to buy anything else through there. So it's something kind of like dreading to have to do. And that's why I'm not a type of guy to procrastinate anything. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not like that. Maybe certain things like doing certain things around the house. Yeah, I procrastinate some of that stuff. But when it comes to like studying things or working on things, I don't procrastinate. But when it comes to the whole thing with Coinbase and this KYC that's coming up for me, yeah, I've been procrastinating the heck out of that. I'll probably wait until the last day on that, unfortunately. Buy foul. That's how I feel about Wolverino. Yeah, I have Wolverino. I have I don't know. I don't know if I have billions or trillions of. I don't know. It's just a bag of Wolverine. I'm not a whale or anything like that, but I'm not impressed with it. When it pumps, it's like I look at my bag and I'm like, my bag didn't really do that much, and I have a lot of it, so it doesn't make sense. Again, I will state this much. Maybe I should have went. By the way, you should do this too. I have a Coinbase wallet, right? So sometimes it doesn't show the actual value. What I should have done is like what I showed in my tutorial. If you haven't done this yourself, you have a Coinbase wallet, check out the tutorial in our video section. I should have went in, connected my Coinbase wallet through Uniswap, right? And then verified what the price was by swapping to USDC and actually getting the dollar value to compare to the coin value and see how much money it's actually worth. That's what I should have done. So I will give them benefit of that as far as that goes. All right. Too much. Well, it's just a scenario that has made millionaires and also wrecked some people also. Those tokens are out there and money can be made. Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying for me personally, again, like we always say, it's not financial advice. You have to make these decisions for yourself. That's why they got the expression, do your own research. Just because I may be saying this doesn't necessarily mean that you got to do the same thing. Like I could recommend ISO 222s because I'm very impressed with them. That might not be something that you want to do. And for whatever reason, I can respect that. At the end of the day, it's your hard-earned money. For me personally, I have made a shift from, all these. Because, for me in my portfolio, I'm saying I'm sitting probably like oh man, maybe close to half of my portfolio is unfortunately like puppy dog emus and stuff like that. The other half, good solid utility tokens, right? Coins and so on. Polygon, those type of things, right? Um, and so on and so forth. So my thing is, and even some of the metaverse ones, like I hold sand, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Everybody has their own reasons, and that's fine. All right. Tim Shea, it's all in the timing. Yeah, that is true too. Like, I mean, if a brand new project comes and you were like, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna get rugged on this, and these guys are doxxed and all this and all that, and you literally found out about it. I'll tell you this much, when we do the Patreon thing, which is coming up, what I used to do long before I made my own crypto channel, believe it or not. So check this out. This is not me trying to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna give myself credit where credit's due. I even said to myself when I was watching top influencers, and by the way, I consider us top influencers, believe it or not. You want to know why? We have one of the top shows, one of the top live shows as we speak. You guys have seen it for yourself. So yeah, we're top influencers. How about that? Anyway, so when I was, not doing the old YouTube thing, I was like a lot of you guys and so on. But what I would do is I would go on areas outside of CoinMarketCap and I would find like launches, like literally like the day that they even launched. I found out about like Shinobi, like literally on day 2, not day 1. And I did well with that. I found out about the likes of some of these other projects, right? Even Shiba Doge, right? And I found out about these literally like 2 weeks before a lot of the quote unquote top influencers were reporting it. And I said to myself, wow, you were able to recognize some of these low market cap ones and so on, and I did well. So if that is you and you're able to do that as well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're just recognizing an opportunity. But I will state this much: take your profits, if there is any, and put shift on some of the ones for longer, for long term. Because my worry is, what if the SEC at some point decides, you know what, a lot of people did get wrecked on these crap coins. We're going to regulate the hell out of that. Well, then it's just going to cause a huge mess in the future. I'm just thinking more long term. Now, is it still the Wild West for crypto? Absolutely it is. And as a result, we're trying to take advantage of these opportunities. So I could get into all the back and forth on it and so on. But yeah, I totally get the perspective where you guys are coming from. And it's not me bashing that. At the end of the day, we're all investors. We're all recognizing opportunities. If that's your opportunity, go with it. Go with your gut. I'm not going to talk you out of it. All right. Michael Cornwell, a coin could go 1000x and end up stable with a utility tied to an infinite utility. To a finite utility like XRP equals 1 ounce of gold, or XDC equals 1 of silver, or palladium. That's what's coming. Crypto tied to finite metal. There you go. Yeah, that's a good example. I mean, I look at he used the example of XRP and so on and XDC. I also look at like Stellar Lumens. I've held Stellar Lumens since the beginning of my crypto journey, and I look at that as like being like silver, if you will. So I mean, everybody has a different approach of how they look at it. Excuse me. All right, too much. You guys are having a conversation amongst each other. Edward Vincent, amen, brother Max. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk, prayers for the Philippines. Yeah, absolutely. My mom's side of the family came from there. So my mom, she came from Mindanao, which is the southern Philippines. My dad was a missionary to the Philippines back in 1976, and that's how he met my mom. But yeah, we have a lot of family there. Also, I have Chinese ancestry. My mother's grandmother, which would have been my great grandmother, she came from mainland China. She married a Filipino, and but it was unfortunate what happened to them. You ever heard of the famous Bataan death march? Well, it wasn't in Bataan, but Imperial Japan, they had a death march, and they were killed in World War II. So it's a sad story. But anyway, let's get to Tim Shea, prayers, Edward Vincent, AMA every day. Edward Vincent Woot. Edward Vincent, can we look at Bitcoin all-time charts and zoom way out, please? Yeah, we can do that. That's a great thing. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna pull that up. Do a share. Let's see, slides. Oh. I think I got it right here. Yeah. All right. So you guys should be able to see that. So yeah, we're gonna do a Bitcoin. And the reason why you're using Coinbase, because I mean, it kind of is nice to see it, how they have it listed. So let's see. What did I just type in? The wrong thing? Sorry about that. There we go. All right. We're going to do all time. And it's not going to allow us to do all time. If it was all time, it will allow us to do back until like 2009, 2010 was like $5, right? So it's going to go, shucks, where is it? So I think we're going back to like 2015. Yeah. So let me just go up a little bit more. All right. So back, okay, we can do, oh man, this thing is being really, really weird. All right, we'll just do 2013. So $577 back in 2013, right? And then obviously, like where it's now, right? It was still impressive. But here's the thing: all time, it's up 21,308 or 21,208%. Now that is super impressive. So for you guys, in regards to, we talked about meme coins and stuff earlier. Watch what happens when you do SHIB. This is mind-boggling. This is why, like, I still have a lot of SHIB, and why I was staking it until obviously crypto.com got rid of it. Let me just make sure we're okay with the comments. And that is this right here. I'm going to pull it up again. What's going on with this thing? It's not. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Okay. So check it out for SHIB. Yeah, we just said the percentage for Bitcoin, which is super impressive. Check it out for SHIB. 1,127,125% increase since its inception back in, I believe it was 2020, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was summer 2020. Yep, summer of 2020. I mean, my goodness, right? So like right around here, so I don't know if you heard the story. The Bezos brothers, and by the way, I've covered Bezos back on Maximus Crypto, but so like the Bezos brothers came in like summer of 2020, right? And then they saw first all-time highs right here. They saw it back in May of 2021, all right? And they made basically $5 million off of their Shiba Inu. And then from there, they took some of the profits and so on, of course, helped out their family and whatnot, but then they decided to go after the passion, which is gaming, hence what I'm going to be doing in the future, by the way. And they decided to make a game, which is Bezos Earth. So, there are projects like that, in which it's like, yeah, it's low market cap, but I mean, like, they're doing things. They're making an actual game. And by the way, that game is starting to look more and more impressive day by day. So, I mean, I will give them a shout out. I mean, there are, there's exceptions like that, right? That's low market cap, technically, quote unquote, like a meme focused one and whatnot. But, I always like to recognize ones like that. So, let me zoom out real quick. All right, we're going to get back to the comments. But yeah, thank you for that, Edward Vincent. All right, Legrand Commission, no financial advice. But if you just invest now and wait until the next bull run, in my opinion, you will at least 10x to 20x. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. I absolutely agree. And especially when it comes to some of your, I hate to say it, I mean, I'm with you guys too, some of the garbage token projects out there, right? That just have been not doing too well for the longest time, right? It will also affect those, let's face it. How do we know that? Because we know that based on what happened at the end of 2021. There were some new projects that were not all that great. There's also projects that have been around for a long time that all of a sudden they were spiking. Again, it's not as though it's trickle down economics, but it's literally like trickle down crumbs affecting some of these other projects. All right, Le Grand Commission. Just invest in Ethereum or Ethereum Classic. The Fed won't touch those two. Yeah, that's a good point. Me personally, I'm more impressed with Ethereum Classic as recently, like I point out, and especially if you're a miner, like you want to maximize your profits. You don't want your ASIC miner to, you know, you have to, I don't know, like make reason of it, like, oh, I'm going to switch to this other network. I'm only going to earn 10 to 20% compared to what I was mining, the current Ethereum. No, you want to, yeah, you're still taking a little bit of a loss, but you're not taking as much of a loss, and you can still make it profitable. So that's the whole point. On top of it, Coochie Boy, CFTC supposed to be the regulator of cryptos going forward. Okay. SEC will have to stand down. Yeah, I hope so. Coochie Boy, not sure of the transaction date though. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, sure, kind of drives me nuts sometimes. All right. Not sharing the chart window, Sir Max. Oh, well, I did earlier, but I could bring that back up if you want. Yeah, I can bring that back up. Let's see. Yeah, that's not a problem. There we go. It's just that it zooms out when I do that, but yeah, we can definitely have that up for you. I'll just zoom out all the way just to kind of show you guys. So there it is. There it is. All right, Legrand Commission. You can't see the chart. Okay, maybe I'm just a little bit behind. It was sharing the Coinbase only, not the chart. Screen share, please. Okay. It was sharing the Coinbase only, not the charts. Okay. Still described absolutely well enough to get a good sense of what you're looking at. Yeah, sorry about that. Again, it's kind of like me getting a little bit more comfortable about the whole thing with StreamYard and whatnot. And then last we got very, very nice, very nice. Okay, so let's get a little bit more into some of these other ones. For instance, I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So for instance, I'm gonna just share. Actually, now I'm gonna share the whole screen. Stop screen, share. Let's do the whole thing. Sorry about that. Here we go. That crazy zoom, right? All right. Some of these other ones, like, we're talking about, like, for instance, XDC earlier, right? Some people were pointing out, like, the whole thing about, being boring or and so on and so forth. Well, again, for the guy that came in, I mean, even if somebody came in like in 2019, yeah, it's boring, but also the price is reflective on how boring it is. And right now, as we speak, there's a lot of things that are at liquidated prices. So do we look at that as, well, we're bored with it and don't recognize the opportunity behind it? Or do we hop on that opportunity because things like, as you can see right here, are happening? So for instance, I mean, for the guy that came in 2019 for what's quote unquote boring at 0.0014, held to even just, like, that was not even a year later. Yeah. Like not even one full year later, first all-time highs sitting at 3 cents. I mean, for that person going from 2 zeros to 1 0, that could be life changing depending on his holding, right? Then new all-time highs, right? A few months later to 6 cents. So literally doubled what that was, right? So like went from 2x to another 2x, then all-time highs in 18 cents. I mean, even if he did the whole thing of taking profits off the top, let's say you came in April 15th, 2021, like it shows right here. He takes profits off the top, which is good. Then it goes back down. Look at this. He could still come in at 5 cents, like a lot of people did. And then it rises up to here at 17 cents. Those guys still did great. So again, there's a crowd of people who want to obviously hold and just keep holding and not take profits off the top. All I'm saying is this. I think for next time around, for a lot of us, we should just recognize that we need to take profits off the top is the bottom line. All right, I'm gonna see how we're doing on the chat, and if anything, I'm looking at the time as well, because we might go ahead and end this here pretty soon, believe it or not. I mean, I realize we have 137 people watching. It's not about that. I want you guys to have a good quality show that flows well, and if anything, where you basically want more, right? So so as we see right here, it mentions 95% of the top trading pairs are green. We are going well till the anticipation of the old man coming out of the cave. Now we be back in business again. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Guys, I think I'm going to point out a couple more things before we wrap things up. Give me just a second. And I think it was something I wanted to point out. Maybe I already did it earlier. You know what? I did do it earlier. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. This is worthy to point out. Let me pull it up real quick. Where is it? All right, here it is. This is the grand finale, if you will. All right. Just like a fireworks show, right? You come to the Max show, right? Where you want to call Crypto Talk now with Max. It ain't about me. I don't have an ego. So I want to point this out. And I did briefly point this out in regards to the last Quant recorded video. I'm going to point it out again for those who haven't seen this, because let's face it, some people watch the recorded, some people don't. So like it says right here, what do you think, Quant? I'm just double checking that we're doing fine on all this. Yeah, we are. Okay. So it says, what do you think, Quant? It says, is Quant on the verge of exploding again? Cup and handle pattern equals bullish. Technical target is 288. Short-term price analysis. Now, as you guys know, I am not super technical. I know some basic technicalities, and like I'll point out, for instance, you guys see me do this, and that is when I see big pennants forming, mainly on the day chart, right? Not necessarily on the 1 minute or 15 minute, but mainly on the whole day. I like to point that out, and especially if it's going to form like an apex, right? The other thing that I haven't pointed out to you guys is this other thing that is very, very significant, to say the least. Hold on a second, I gotta clear my throat. Excuse me. And that is this right here. Okay. So I wish I could zoom in a little bit more, but as you can see, this right here. So this is called a cup and handle. All right. And you may be wondering, well, what's so significant about this? Well, it kind of highlights and gives you the quick gist of what's about to happen here. If you don't know what a cup and handle is, I'll just basically give you the best definition of it. A cup and handle is a technical chart pattern that resembles a cup and handle, where the cup is in the shape of a, quote, U, right? And how do we know that? Here we are. There's the U. And the handle has a slight downward drift. How do we know that? There's the handle, a slight downward drift. Not too much, though, just slight, okay? A cup and handle is considered a bullish signal extending an uptrend, and it is used to spot opportunities to go long. So this is why Mr. Maximus here puts a lot of emphasis on Quant. The reason why I put a lot of emphasis on Quant is because look at this. Look at the potential what could be near. Now, again, this isn't, of course, the all-time highs. The all-time highs for Quant was roughly in the $400 range. But I like pointing things like this out. Even if Quant reaches this, for me personally, I'm not going to swing trade Quant. I believe in Quant is my life-changing money, my generational wealth money. I don't want to necessarily take little tiny profits. So when I do say like take profits off the top, for the most part, but there's ones like Quant where, yeah, if I take profits in the short term for this, and then November comes along and it goes, parabolic, or 2023, especially what's going on, between 2023 and 2025. No, I'm holding this long term to probably 2024, 2025, right? Where like who was it? Metalec was mentioning earlier, the whole thing of what? recognizing these particular projects and so on and the significance behind them. That's my thing. Quant is one of the standout ones. I don't want to, like what you mentioned, like I don't want to see this where we go from 5 figures, because right now it's at 3 figures. We go from 3 figures to 4, and then maybe even higher than that. 5 figures, 6 figures, and so on. I don't want it to be a case where it's like, dang, man, I was able to buy it while it was cheap. I know for some guys that never invested in a coin that was over $100, this doesn't seem cheap. It's cheap as far as the perspective of what it's going to do long term. Like we're talking generational wealth. Like I don't know how else to put it. But anyway, long story short, the cup and handle. It's just that, guys. I mean, look it up for yourself after we're done with the stream if you want. It's very significant. So I'm always going to point out when I see those big pennants forming and when I'm going to, see the cup and handle, because it's very, very, it's more than just interesting. It gets you excited, to say the least. Now, I, of course, didn't want to point this out until I saw the whole thing of what the Fed was going to do, Mr. rolling out of the cave, if you will. And since we saw that the overall crypto market cap is this right here, right? Plus 7%, then it is kind of exciting. Before we wrap things up, we're just going to take a quick look at, Ethereum Classic still at 4th, and it still did very, very well for the 30-day chart as well. I don't have it up here, but last I checked, it was like 3 or 4 days ago, it was up like 55-60% for the 30-day chart when everything else wasn't doing that great. And again, Quant was also doing great as well. So yeah, they had a pullback and so on, but overall was doing pretty well. So I'm going to just rapid fire some of the comments real quick right here before we end everything. Give me just a second. Let's see. All right. There we go. Hold on. Maybe I did read this. Hold on. Michael Cornwell, 95% of the top 100 trading pairs are green. We are going well till the anticipation of the old man coming out of the K and now in business again. I did read that. I'm sorry, but it's all right. Coochie Boy, we have 8 weeks till the old man represents himself. Yep. Jeff Pruden, what's up, family? Good to see you, Jeff. Appreciate you, man. Max P, thanks for another great live. Thank you for saying that. Sometimes I need to get that kind of feedback. I don't want to feel like I'm just coming across boring or anything like that. And then Coochie Boy, I think we see some legislation and regulation by Congress before the old man comes out, though. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Again, like, Larry and I point out quite often, we're not ready to say that it's the bull market yet. When we are, you guys will know. And there might be some members of our community like Michael Cornwell or whoever who might just say it before we do. I mean, sometimes we can all agree with each other and sometimes we won't. But we will recognize if it is a true bull market. I mean, again, I'm still sticking to the whole thing of 7 to like maybe 10 or, how about this? 7 to 11. Yeah, 7 to 11 days. All right, Michael Cornwell, Quant could turn that decimal into a 288.896 to 288,896. It has less supply than Bitcoin and 1,000x utility. Yes, he hit the nail on the head when it comes to that. If you're wondering why all the claims of Bitcoin Quant being the next Bitcoin, it's just that it does remind you of how Bitcoin circulating supply basically is. So I'm glad that Michael reiterated that. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a conversation between you guys, but that's fine. Where are the tacos at? You know what? I was going to get Taco Tuesday last night, and I didn't get dinner till super late, but that's okay. Jeff Pruden, Maria's Tacos, Atwater, California, the best. Yeah, you know what? The best street tacos I ever had were in L.A. So good. We love learning. Michael Cornwell. I am Lee. Any thoughts on Bond? You know what? We were going to cover that. I was just going to bring it up. I don't know enough about it. But nonetheless, I did promise you that we would get into it. Let's bring it up just briefly before we start to wrap things up. I do see that we still have about 100 people watching, so let me bring that up real quick. I'm going to share the screen. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. All right. Chrome tab. And then let's just do that. There we go. All right. So bond. James Bond. So you're talking about Barnbridge bond? Hopefully that's the one you're talking about. I'll give you a chance to give me a little bit more clarification in regards to that before we dive more deeper into it. If that's all right. Well, it'll have to be all right? All right. So the gin. Oh, heck yeah. Tacos from the streets are the best, especially in the tortillas. Our Mexican great tacos. We have the Pancho's Tacos, original tortillas in Houston, Texas. All right. Jeff Pruden. The Fed raises interest rates today, didn't they? Yeah. 75 basis points. Jeff Pruden. The best tacos come from grandma making the tortillas with her feet. Yeah. All right. So I didn't see you say anything in regards to bond. It does say they have a couple audits. They're ranked not too bad on the rank 298. Let me see a little bit more about them. Well, you guys can see this screen. Yeah. Barnbridge.com. Barnbridge.com. All right, there it is. Tokenized risk protocol, a fluctuations derivative protocol for hedging yield, sensitivity, and marketplace. They have an app. Smart bonds, structured market adjusted risk trances. Okay. So interest rate volatility risk mitigation using debit-based derivatives. Okay. I mean, what's the thing that really stands out for them? I mean, it seems like they probably have a good app. Let me go back. All right, let's see how well they did. Okay, before we just completely wrap this up. All right, so the low of 219 within last year went up as high as $70. Huh? Maybe that's why you want me to look into this. Oh man, I don't like that though. So they started off in 2020 at $178. Okay, and then it went skyrocketing down to 20. They rebounded though. Okay, that's good. That's real good. So all right. So down to 20, went to a dip of 17. Those that got in on January 20th, so about 17 or 18, 17 and a half, 18. Then man, so from January of 2021 to February of 2021, why was anybody talking about this? Because they're too busy talking about BS Inu. That's why. All right, look, I'm gonna add this, believe it or not, to my favorites. I'm gonna look more into this, and that's all I'm gonna state. So, guys, shout out to who was that said that? I am Lee. Any thoughts on Bond? I don't have a thought yet, my friend, but I will have a thought. And with that said, I am going to hold on. Probably end this here soon. I'm gonna read the last bit of the comments, and then that is it. So Edward Vincent, great stuff, man. Michael Cornwell's 0.75, yeah, 75 basis points. It wasn't quite 1 full percent. They were talking about the whole thing of 100 basis points, which is a full percent. I think even Keith, the CVC, said as high as 1.25. But no, it was 75. So, guys, that is it. I will say this in closing comments. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It gives Larry, of course, a chance to relax and take a breather. He's been hitting real hard. By all means, if you love our community and so on, which I know a lot of you guys do, please hit that like on the way out if you haven't done so already. On top of that, please check out some of the recorded videos and comment in there if you have the time. It does help with our community to grow and reach more people, because we are gaining more and more subscribers. It's kind of like a slight uptick all the time, but we are attracting the likes of the ISO 222 community. How I know that is because I go to, for instance, other what do you call it, YouTube channels, and I've noticed some people in the comments from there are dropping comments over here. So like to hear that. That's great. So if anything, guys, hopefully you got some good value of tonight's show. And with that said, everybody, thanks again for joining us. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Larry will be back for the 3 p.m. Eastern show. And of course, rejoin us tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for the Max and Larry show. So on behalf of Larry, myself, Patches, and Mr. Johan, and everybody here at our Crypto Talk Now network family, want to say this is Max signing off. May you all have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one.